As Hall of Fame wide receiver Terrell Owens once said, get your popcorn ready, because it's going to be a show. On today's show on Mavericks Today by Chat Sports, I'm Jeffrey Cooperstein. We are taking a look at some major takeaways from the Mavericks losing streak, which has reached 3 games and now 5 out of 6 games. So stay tuned for that. I have some thoughts on how the Mavericks can get out of this rut and hopefully get back into the Western Conference playoff race. And it starts tonight with a massive matchup against our arch rivals, the Miami Heat. Yes, it's Mavs versus Heat, a tale as old as time, dating back to 2006 with that fraud Dwayne Wade. I'm excited for tonight's game. The Mavs need to win. No Tyler Hero for the Heat tonight. I believe they're dealing with some other injuries as well. So plain and simple, the Mavericks got to win tonight. You're going to have to try to get off this losing streak before you face the Chicago Bulls, or the Pistons, on Sunday. So try to build some wins together and get back into that Western Conference. Try to avoid the play-in. Get a top 6 seed. It starts tonight. It's a TNT game, so you know they're going to be up for it. Hopefully the Mavs can come out here with a win against the Heat. And in the next 4 games, it's going to be tough. This is why I think you need to win, because you have the Pistons, and then you have the Bulls, and then you have the Warriors. These are all teams that the Mavericks should be able to beat, and that gives you a 4-game winning streak. Hopefully you can get that, because after these 4 games, when you go to the next 2, you're facing the top 2 teams, in my opinion, in the Western Conference. You're going to Oklahoma City to face the Thunder, and then you have Denver at home on St. Patrick's Day on March 17th. I wish the Mavs still had some green in their jerseys, because that would be cool if they could wear some green on St. Patrick's Day. But nonetheless, no green this year. Hopefully the Mavs can just get a win and make some money that way, and they'll get their green. But if you want more Mavericks content, be sure to like this video. Help us get to 300 likes on today's show so we can keep giving you more Mavericks content. Harrison Graham's been sick this week, so I've been stepping in. Hopefully he'll be back soon. We'll get you guys all the latest Mavericks news, rumors, analysis, etc. So be sure to hit that thumbs up icon. And without further ado, let's get to the bulk of today's show, which is my major takeaways from this Dallas Mavericks losing streak. This one is obvious. The defense must improve. I think we've talked about it all week long. It's obviously terrible. Since the All-Star break, the Mavericks are the dead last in defensive rating in the NBA at 126.0. That is awful, my friends, and I know that scoring is up across the league in the NBA. You have teams who are in the playoff race like the Sacramento Kings, like the Philadelphia 76ers, who are down there, but you have to defend at some point if you're going to be a playoff team. And the thing about this team is they can defend. We've seen it in stretches. They can be a top half of the NBA team as far as defense goes. They just don't. I know Jason Kidd talked kind of at length after the game the other night, after it took over an hour when the Mavericks had their team meeting, about how they can defend and whatnot. And the Mavericks' whole system is predicated on trying to stop the corner 3. Well, how come they can't stop it? What's going on there? Jason Kidd said they were going to take a look at the film. They were going to try to challenge themselves to be able to fix that part of their defense, and hopefully against the Heat, we'll see improvement there. But why is this team giving up so many open threes? It felt like in the game the other night against the Pacers, they were over-rotating and they were overcompensating and trying to make everything happen and take away everything, which in turn let the Pacers have whatever they want on offense en route to 137 points in regulation. Rick Carlisle just loves beating up on the Mavericks. I'm sure that's part of it as well. This team's got to get better on defense, man, and the way that hopefully they improve by starting against the Miami Heat tonight. And this kind of leads to my second point. I think Jason Kidd needs to change, and needs to change some things about him if he wants to continue being this team's head coach. He has to show more emotion on the sideline, and I think he has to match the energy of the players on the court. Kidd has not received a technical all season. I think he's in his 3 seasons, he definitely has less than 5 technical fouls, which I think is, on the one hand, good because he's staying calm. On the other hand, I think at some point when your team needs a spark and the head coach has to realize that, and he has to be the one to give him that spark, whether it's going to yell at a ref or it's going to yell at a player. Kidd has not shown emotion whatsoever, and he doesn't do it in press conferences. He doesn't do it on the court. I just like a coach that shows more emotion, and I think Jason Kidd needs to give the team more, frankly, if they're able to get out of this rut, because you have guys like Luka, like Kyrie, who are perceived as leaders, but if the fans and the players saw Jason Kidd raise his voice at a ref or raise his voice at a player, maybe it would resonate more and they would light a fire under their asses, because that's what they need right now on this losing streak where they've lost 5 of 6. Third point. We've talked about it ad nauseum, kind of like the defense. Maxi Kleber and Tim Hardaway are cooked products. I think it's time they're out of the rotation. You have Derek Lively. You have Daniel Gafford to fill that center role. As far as Tim Hardaway goes, you have Jaden Hardy. You can play Derek Jones at the 3 and limit Tim's minutes. You have Dante Exum. It's just time to see different players. You have AJ Lawson now, too, who's the Mavs signed to a permanent deal after being on a 2-way. You have other options that are available to you. Jason Kidd, I plead. Use one of these available options, and let's just see what it looks like. If it doesn't work, then you can go back to Maxi Kleber. You can go back to Tim Hardaway. But in this game against the Miami Heat, and maybe against the Pistons as well, I want to see changes in this rotation. I want to see who works and who doesn't. And I know it's kind of late in the season to experiment, but that's kind of where we are at this point in time with the Mavericks on this losing streak. It's time to change something. It's time to throw stuff at the wall and see what works. I am begging you. What is your biggest concern with the Mavericks right now? Is it the defense? Is it the overall coaching? Is it the lack of three-point shooting? What is it? Let me know down in the comment section. And boy, do we have a treat for you guys today. Luka jerseys are on sale courtesy of our friends at Fanatics. They're on sale for almost over 50% off. I know some of these are. You can get these fresh. The Jordan jersey I absolutely love. That one was from a couple of years ago with the playoffs. His all-star jerseys. All of these are on sale if you go to chatsports.com/Luka jersey. That link will be in the comments and the description of today's show. Go ahead and get yours today. I absolutely love this one, man. I wish the Mavericks actually made that a permanent uniform, but go down and get it yourself. Some jerseys over 50% off at chatsports.com/Luka jersey. The inconsistencies with the bigs is a part of why I think this rut is happening right now. Daniel Gafford plays 6 minutes one game. He plays 20 minutes the next. He'll play 13 the next. You got to find a consistent rotation with both him and Derek Lively. I get foul trouble happens, and Lively's been in a lot of it lately, and it's limited his ability to have an impact on this team. But I believe that you need to play a consistent. If it's 24 and 24 between Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford, that's fine with me. I think those guys just need to be on the court more, and they need to be on the court consistent for them to be able to contribute. Now, Gafford had a double-double the other night. He had 16 and 10. Hopefully he can continue that trend after a couple of down games. The Mavs are going to need him tonight against Bam Adebayo, so hopefully he'll be able to contribute to this team positively, and that Jason Kidd will find more consistent minutes for those big men. And finally, Luka, go to the hole, man. I know your crutch is the step-back three from the left side, but you are unstoppable if you're watching the show. You are unstoppable going to the hole, Luka. No one on earth can stop you when you get ahead of steam. Someone comes and set the screen and you go around it, you are going to get to the rim at will. And I understand that Luka he's hesitant about getting hurt. He's hesitant about taking blows to his body, where in the long season of the NBA, that can take a toll on you. And I know Luka has this whole thing with the refs where they don't give him enough respect, yada, yada, yada. If he keeps going to the hole, he keeps trying to get to the rim, he will get fouled more. He will get more free throws. Thus, he will maybe even up his average a little bit. I just want to see him go to the hole. Maybe take 3 less threes tonight. There's no need for him to take 13 threes. If he takes 10, if he takes 8, maybe he takes a couple extra shots at the rim, couple floaters in the lane, helps him get more efficient, and in turn helps the Mavericks offense get more efficient as well. Now, this is a question I wanted to ask you guys before we head on out of here. Will the Mavericks be a play-in team? Type Y for yes, type N for no. And you'll notice I didn't get specific. Will they be a play-in team because they're a top 6 seed in the West? Or will they not be a play-in team because they completely missed the playoffs altogether? And I don't think that's going to happen because they have a big enough lead on the 11 seed. So I think they'll be at least a play-in team. But will they make it out of that top 6? So type Y for yes, type N for no if you think the Mavericks will be a playoff team. And that'll be it for today's show. Shout out to producer Tex on the ones and twos. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for all the latest Mavericks news and rumors. And be sure to hit that thumbs up icon as well. My boss has told me that if we don't get to 300 likes, we may have to delete the channel. So I don't want that to happen. Hit that thumbs up icon, subscribe, and we'll see you soon with more Mavericks news and rumors.